Hey guys, what's up? It's 8-Bit Eric, and The Legend of Zelda has always been one of my most favorite franchises of all time. I absolutely love The Legend of Zelda. Anytime that I see a new game pop up that's described as a Legend of Zelda-like video game, I just have to absolutely sink my teeth into it and try it out for myself and find out if it's really good. So when I saw that Windscape was on the Nintendo Switch, I just knew I had to try it out and see if it was worth the reputation that I was hearing about it. So today's video is going to be a look at Windscape, and if we're going to find out if it does hold up indeed as something that could be compared to this Zelda mark's expectations. So guys, sit back, relax, grab yourself a little drinky and a snacky, and let's begin today's video. When I looked up this game, the description actually said it was like Legend of Zelda. And I guess upon initial impression, looking at the graphics, even though they're not as high definition as Breath of the Wild, they do have a little bit of a Zelda-esque appearance with their cell shading and the colors and things of that nature. You also take on the role of a single adventurer who is a female, not exactly Link, but in the role of a silent protagonist. And you adventure all through the area, going through woods, caves, dungeons, exploring, getting items, and basically becoming the hero that you're destined to be. So yeah, okay, we could say this game has a lot in common on that end, but after playing it for a few more minutes and sinking my teeth into it for actually what became a few more hours, I learned that this game actually is kind of like a low resolution Skyrim as well. And why do I say that? Because the combat, the first person view, and all around the I guess the finding items and using them to sell and powering up and things like that kind of felt like a weird little hybrid of some Breath of the Wild elements and a little bit of Skyrim elements, and it kept me glued for, I guess, long enough to actually kind of somewhat enjoy the game. Going in, okay, let's be obvious here, we're talking about huge games from like Bethesda and Nintendo. You know right away when you start this game, you're not going to get something that's that epic. There's no, like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say, oh my god, guys, this game is as good as Skyrim, because it's obvious. It's not. And that is kind of an unfair expectation to have on something. But you could tell the people that made this game were inspired by games such as that. Now, again, Windscape, you kind of explore, you meet villagers, you go on quest, and something could be as simple as getting an item from somebody else, walking back to it, or clearing out a dungeon and finding some kind of item. It's a basic game at its core, but it does have some ambition behind it, which is not a bad thing. And like I said, I sat there, didn't know what to initially expect. I don't really dig first-person games like this too often. In fact, when I play Skyrim, I always do the behind-the-back third-person view look. I really can't get into first-person games like this too often. The main reason why I wanted to check out Windscape was the comparison with Zelda, so I found out firsthand, and I'm going to show you guys actually firsthand as well, so you can get a little look-see. So we're going to demo the game. So we're going to demo the game real quick, take a look at it, and then I'll give you my final thoughts of Windscape. Alright guys, so this is Windscape. I'm in the middle of a game already. I've made it to like a graveyard, spooky type of area. I made a shield and a sword, and I have a little bit of upgraded equipment. Again, honestly, I wouldn't really compare the game to Legend of Zelda. I could say that it's inspired by it, but this plays a lot like Skyrim, in my most opinion, if I was to say something about it. Now, here's some ghouls. As you can see, I'm chopping the crap out of them with my sword. And the game does get a little bit hard. There is a boss that I encountered that I need to somehow manage to defeat with a certain weapon that I haven't gotten yet, that I haven't been able to make. So I'm kind of puzzled as to what I'm going to do right now. But I'm going to go ahead and leave this area just so I can show you guys. Oh, and then throughout the stages, there's these totem poles. If you walk to one, it saves your game automatically. But let's go back to the main area of the game, and maybe I'll just explore and kind of show you guys a little bit of what the game is like. Again, I think it plays like a poor man's Skyrim. It's not a bad thing that it does. If I was to say anything, this game is kind of a lot smaller scale Skyrim. So if you're looking for something that you can sink your teeth into, that doesn't take as long, that's not as expansive or expensive, a game that you could just have a good little, more of a stress-free time, then I think Windscape is definitely something that you could consider taking a look at. Again, I've only done a handful of missions. Came to a point where I got a little backed up and stuff, so there is some challenge, some puzzle solving, and a degree of exploration to it, but it's not as big of a scale of a game as other. And then there's ingredients that you can get by like I'm chopping the tree right here. You get your equipment and stuff. You get an axe. You can chop trees. So yeah, it is what it is. I think honestly it is kind of a neat little game. Again, this is a smaller indie title, so you don't want to go in expecting something humongous. But it's amazing that there's people out there that are trying full-fledged effort to make something neat. And then you can even mine iron, stuff like that. There's jumping. Once in a while you'll encounter an enemy like a wolf, or a coyote, whatever this is. Combat does happen in real time, just like in Skyrim. You have a stamina bar on the bottom. As you can see, you can kind of gauge your attack with it. It's something that you hold the button down a little bit longer, and your power on your attacks are a little bit stronger, if that makes any sense. And you could make a variety of different stuff and things, equipment, armor, things of that nature. As you can see, I still have basic gear and stuff, basic weaponry, but I have a spear, I have a wooden club, things like that. So there is a fair amount of content here. I'm going to walk into one of the towns just to show you guys how interaction is. And I'm running right here. I'm running right now. There's, the graphics again, I said, aren't that great. Take a look at this. It does look kind of cartoony and cheesy, but
very sharp.
Little to no voice acting. This character's like a giant blue owl type of thing. Owl named Gus. Yeah. So this is a town. There's a variety of different things to explore. Things like that. So yeah, in other words, it is Skyrim Light, if I could describe it in any form or fashion. So there you have it. Overall, I would feel that even though this does have elements that are kind of inspired by other games, this is actually a little bit more of a relaxed version of those. It's actually something that I feel kids could pick up and kind of learn. I feel Windscape is kind of like a good starter, like a Skyrim starter set, because you don't want to give your 7-year-old Skyrim and be like, yo, have at it, Dragonborn. You want to give them something that they can kind of learn and stuff. And for younger audiences, I do feel dumbing down a lot of the RPG elements that those other games might have and putting them up into a package and calling it Windscape is not a bad thing. I wouldn't go on to say that this is a must-own Nintendo Switch game. However, I will say that it is, at its core, a good adventure starter kit. So if you're looking for something for maybe a younger audience or something to kind of sink their teeth into, get their feet a little bit wet, Windscape might not be a bad alternative. I'm not aware if this is on PC or anything like that. But if you want your child, or you're a noob, or I don't know, just overall you're looking for something maybe that is not too long of a game as Skyrim, or something that you want to get an adventure fix, this might be a satisfactory title for you. If I was going to rate it, I would probably say 7 out of 10. It's a good little starter kit, like I said. So yeah, it's right there at a 7. And guys, that's it. This was Windscape. If you're brand new to the channel, feel free to throw a subscription. It's free to subscribe, like, thumbs up, all that good jazz. I will see you guys on the next video. Have a great day. Peace out.